In Sarasota County, underwater dive vehicles entering the Carlton reserves as area resources are looking at large bodies of water now. This includes dive teams, boats, and sonar equipment. At this time, this does not mean anything has been found. It's just part of the overall search process. So as the search continues for Brian Laundrie, and with the body discovered out west now confirmed as the body of Gabby Petito, forensic teams will now be trying to determine how and why Gabby died. ABC 7 taking a deeper dive now into how that part of the criminal investigation process works. So we welcome Kevin Lothridge to our dialogue on this. Kevin, hello. Kevin is a forensic science expert as the current executive director of the National Forensic Science Technology Center. Kevin also ran the Pinellas County Crime Lab, which we knew each other back in the day. So welcome, Kevin. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Narissa.
Okay, so tell us, speaking in forensics, there's a body, there's a location where the body was found. What happens now?
Well, the case here is that the body was found sometime after they believe the body was reported. So you saw that the coroner gave the manner of death because you can do that a little easier. The manner of death are things like accident, natural causes, in this case homicide. But they haven't released the cause of death because that takes more intense testing and waiting for results to come back from laboratories, looking at drug levels, looking at are there some types of forcible injury, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, beating, suffocation. So they're doing the additional work on the body as we speak. That's why they were able to say what the manner was, but they did not release the cause because that takes much more intense activity. They're also looking at all the evidence that they've had in the search warrants, looking for things like digital evidence, cell phones, computers, access to social media, looking at phone records, because that can help them build the case for how long was Gabby missing and when did she actually die.
Let's talk about the time, because there was time, we all know, that passed from the time when she went missing, when the body was discovered, and we're talking more than a month. Did investigators lose a lot of evidence because of that time?
Well, in the first case, it's an outside crime scene. So it's going to be impacted by weather patterns, animals, people walking through the area. So yes, it is much more difficult when it takes time between when an event occurs and when the body's found.
Can you elaborate? I know you touched on it a little bit, but looking at the forensic evidence and what they're looking for. I know you mentioned some of the items there, but how do they do this? Can you elaborate a little bit more? How do they find evidence from all those components you were talking about?
Well, so it's painstaking. If you look at what they're doing now to do this investigation, looking for Brian in the swamp, they did the same thing at the crime scene where Gabby was found, right? They would do a systematic search of the area, looking for everything, because no one knows what's important evidence. So they're going to be looking at things that have potential evidentiary value that would be submitted to a laboratory for analysis. Maybe there's a blood drop. Maybe there's some discarded clothing.
Every little piece counts.
That's correct. It could be
so
a rock,
detailed.
a stick. Correct.
So looking at all of this, watching all of this unfold, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but when do you think we will know what happened to Gabby, or when will they have more answers for us to grab onto?
Well, and I think that just depends on how long was she really exposed to the elements. What other tests are they having to do to determine what the cause of death was? They may be waiting on toxicology reports, other forensic physical evidence to be analyzed. And the laboratories do that as quickly as possible, but you must be very precise in the work that you're doing and follow good protocols and quality testing procedures.
Now, this question up next is a little heebie-jeebie, but it's science, it's forensics, so let's start with that. I know that insects and bugs have something to do with you. They have a role in this in determining time and your investigation. Can you talk about that?
So when we're looking at forensic entomology, which is the study of bugs related to forensic science, there's life cycles of certain types of bugs based on weather, conditions, location, the type of insects that are there. So they have to do some studies. If they found insect activity on the body, they would go to a forensic entomologist who would actually do that work for them, and that does take some time.
Wow, okay. So much information, but I think we have a clear understanding of what's going on there when they keep saying the investigation continues. Now we know a little bit more. So thank you, Kevin Lothridge, so much for educating us on this forensic side of this story. And good to see you again, and congratulations on your career upgrade there that I see.
Thank you, Narissa.
Okay, take care. And we will be right back.